Michael came to me and he was wanting to participate in a research study, something that neither one of us had really done. And the study, he explained, was he would be taking a medication that would hopefully improve the symptom of excessive daytime sleepiness, which is common in DM patients. So it would involve him getting a placebo infusion as well as a study drug infusion. It is considered a double blind, which means the researcher nor the participant knows when they are actually getting the drug. And there was some cognitive testing that was involved, as well as some blood studies to just see how the medication was affecting cognition, as well as changing the chemistries within the patient. So myotonic dystrophy is a very complex genetic disorder. It is autosomal dominant, which means it is expressed if you have the allele for that. It affects many things. Of course, being one of the muscular dystrophies, it affects muscle weakness. It affects myotonia, which is the inability to relax a muscle. So the muscle is able to contract but not relax. It affects many other issues, one being the excessive daytime sleepiness, which we talked about. It's also plagued with sleep issues. In addition to that, cardiac problems, typically electrical, not muscular. Cataracts, endocrine issues. These patients are more prone to diabetes. It also affects cognitive and behavioral issues, in addition to they're more susceptible to cancers. There's many other more symptoms, but that probably is a quick overview of the global effects this disease has. So we really had hoped that this would be the start to some improvements on managing this condition. There are no cures, and we're still holding our breath for that one. But until then, we hope that this drug will help manage some of the very problematic and troublesome symptoms that plague these patients.
So the first day I arrived at the research facility at about 8 o'clock. Met with the research coordinator. We started going over the paperwork that I submitted to her. I given them authorization for doctor's notes. So we went over some of those. I gave her my medications that I'd been taking. There were some medications obviously not on there that I'd taken through the years that showed up in the doctor's notes, so she questioned about those. I recall the best I could as far as dates that I took those different medications. Again, went over the paperwork. She showed me 2 cognitive tests that I would be doing during the actual procedure days. One was on a computer screen. There were 2 letters called the look-back test. So there would be 2 letters, and they may or may not match. I had to put yes or no if they matched. Just because that series probably about an 8.5 minutes. The next test is a small handheld device with a small screen on it, and I had to push a button as soon as I saw numbers show up on the screen. The numbers were counted. I don't know if it was a timer or not. I'm guessing that's what it was, but basically it's checking, I guess, my response. I did that. Some more paperwork, answered more questions, what have you. That went on probably about 3 or 4 times, I guess, that day. They ended with me meeting with the doctor. They had not the study there. The physical, we had done probably about 12:30. On day 2, I arrived at the research facility about 7 o'clock. I met with the research coordinator. We did the vitals. The technician came in, started applying leads to my head, the wires. I'm guessing there's probably about 30 of them anyway. But she attached those and moved from that room to another room. There was a little lounge type chair. That's where the procedures are going to take place. A nurse came in and started IV in both wrists. One was for the infusion of the medication or placebo, and one was actually for blood. He took my blood sample then. I did the cognitive test then. About 9:30 they came in and did the infusion. About 5 minutes after that, they came, took blood, did the cognitive test. The blood and cognitive test probably happened about 4 more times that day. All the time they were tracking brain activity. I was not able to talk during the study. Starting about 8 o'clock until the end of that day, I was not able to talk, and that was very tiring. I'm sure I slept through some of it. I know I slept through the drug blood draw one time because my wrist got moved. Anyway, end of the day, about 12:30 or so, they were done. The doctor came in, asked me if there was any side effects, how I was feeling, and then did a quick evaluation, and that was it. So on day 3, I arrived at the research facility at 7 o'clock again. The research coordinator, we did IVs, technician came and attached the wires, went to the room, started the IVs. Once again, they drew blood, they did a cognitive test. 9:30, they did an infusion. Probably 3 or 4 more times I did. They come in, they take blood. I did the cognitive test, probably an hour or so apart. I know I fell asleep during the day because on those days, study days, I was not able to talk to anybody. So there I am sitting there from 8 o'clock until noon or so, not able to talk. And I'm sure I slept during those days at some point in time. Research day followed up, ended with the doctor coming in, did a full evaluation, did a full checkup, I guess, so to speak. Asked me questions as far as how I felt, was I having any side effects whatsoever, and that's where the study concluded. As we look back, the study was, I think, a success. We were able to, I think, the second day of dosing, second day of clinicals was the true medicine. The first day was a placebo. I say that because after about 15 minutes after giving that dose, I got real alert, real focused, and the problem is that 30 minutes later I crashed. I crashed real hard. So the problem the drug company's going to have with this is find a way to administer it in a pill type form, and also to have a time released mechanism so that it will last 12 hours or what have you. Daytime sleepiness is a problem with DM, and we look forward to doing more trials and learning more about condition.